So they're not as far off as people think. If their defense gets some pieces and plays better, this offense in year 2 and Hakeem Butler getting healthy will only be better. And so it's a sign that Larry Fitzgerald believes in Kyler Murray, believes in Cliff Kingsbury, believes that they can make a run at the playoffs next year.
Fitz can still do it. I think that's, as simple as that. Like, this is 17 years of playing at a high level. And it's not, listen, to play in the NFL at a high level for 17 years is like hitting the lottery when it's at $1 billion. The hits that Fitz has taken, the ability to go across the middle of the field his entire career and make those plays, and just being a prolific receiver since his college days. Like, this dude was up for the Heisman. That's how good he is. I think people forget that Larry Fitzgerald, because we have a new crop of receivers, and there's been like
there's been like 3 new crops.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
receivers.
That part alone, like we see the new receivers and all of that, and Fitz is kind of not, not really a public dude, not the flamboyant type receiver. Not saying anything is wrong with that, but he has been quietly putting together arguably one of the top 10 careers ever in the NFL. Ever. Let me emphasize, ever. Larry Fitzgerald has put together one of the top 10 careers ever since the inception of this game. I think people need to understand that. So to your point about Kyler Murray, Kyler, take that as the biggest compliment in the world, because so many people think highly of him. And look, too, I got to say this. I was not in on Kyler Murray. I thought it was very difficult for quarterbacks that were not of stature to be consistent in this game. That was just me, and maybe I'm a relic, but this year he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong this year, man.
Marcus Spears,
and I'll call
the
it like I said. I call it like I see it. Call it like I see it.
Yeah, him coming back is one thing, JoJo, but that tweet where he's so clearly energized by all this, not only by Kyler Murray, but it also seems a stamp of approval for Cliff Kingsbury, who, again, I thought the odds of this kind of working weren't all that high. Surprised at all that he's all in on all of that?
Well, first of all, he's Mr. Arizona, and Larry is just,
That's fair.
He's just a great guy. Yeah. His family is great. His dad, his auntie's brother, all of whom I've met. He exudes that, and he just lets that permeate through the team. And I remember I covered their first practice when Kyler Murray joined the team, and it was the first time that Kyler Murray was there with the whole team, and you could just feel the energy with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray having joined the team. I remember Cliff had on his sunglasses, had that, I don't know where he's from, but California vibe. I felt whatever it was. It felt like sun and waves and the ocean was around the facility, because that's what I felt like. So if I felt that, I can imagine what he was feeling too. And then just to speak about how you now feel, bought in on Kyler Murray. So you know that he is absorbing that too, because I remember just watching Kyler Murray in that first practice. And I think we talked about it over there when we did NFL Live, and I was impersonating Kyler Murray the first time he went to the line of scrimmage, and he just kind of stood with his, maybe I'll do it. He just kind of just stood there in this way where you're just like, man, this is his first day on the job, and he was just commanding his space. So I just feel like I know why he is saying that, because from day one I saw it, I know he saw it. And I feel like he showed it in certain wins during the season where, even though they didn't have the record, like it wasn't like a 500 or above, but there were certain games this season where they really competed, where, to Dan's point, you're like, okay, maybe they're going to couple like 3 or 4 wins on top of that to even be more competitive. And you can see the belief in where it comes from.
Well, and it's such a juxtaposition, right? A strong juxtaposition between Luke Kuechly, who'd give anything, I think, to play 17 seasons healthy, in a healthy manner, and Larry Fitz, who gets to do it again and says, I feel great and I'm excited about this. So, look, both phenomenal players, and it's we get to have Fitz another year. So
it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, he had a quiet 800 yards receiving last year too.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.